Hi Garfield students, we are doing a quick video about the procedures at Garfield so you know what to do at recess, how to enter and exit the building, hallway procedures, bathroom procedures, and lunchroom. So follow along, make sure you're paying attention. We expect this of you all year.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Fitzenmeyer, and I'm going to show you the in-lunchroom procedures. So this is on normal days. We're going to come through here, keep my mask on, grab my salad or my hot lunch. I'm going to come through, get my milk out, grab the extras or the condiments, and then come over and see Mrs. Steenbach and tell her my last name and my first name, so Fitzenmeyer Mrs. And then I'm going to sit in here if I am in Mrs. Fitzenmeyer's or Mrs. Ferguson's class. And then if I am in Mrs. Lane's or Mrs. Wooler's, I will go on to the gym and sit in there at my assigned table. So if I am Mrs. Ferguson in Mrs. Ferguson's class, I'm going to sit at Mrs. Ferguson's table, not in Mrs. Fitzenmeyer's tables. Then if I am in Mr. Edwards and Mrs. Shirley's, then I will go ahead and sit in here too. If I am in Mrs. McFall's or Mrs. Galindo's, I'll go on to the gym. So when I'm sitting down here, I keep my mask on until I sit down, and then I can start eating. Once I get up to go do something, I have to put my mask back on because I will be moving around with common areas. Then, when I'm ready to go, I'm going to head out through this door. If I am a sack lunch person, I will come in through this door. If I need to get a milk, I will go get a milk and then see Mrs. Steenbach again and let her know I just got a milk, and then sit down if I'm Mrs. Ferguson's or Mrs. Fitzenmeyer's kiddos. If I am for Mrs. Lane's or Mrs. Wooler's, then I will, if I don't need a milk, I'll go on to the gym. If I do, I'll grab one, go see Mrs. Steenbach, and then head on to the gym. Then afterwards, I'll go ahead and scrape or throw my food away and then leave on to the classes or go to recess or wherever I'm supposed to go next. All right, so if you are in tutoring, if you have those 2 assignments or more, then you will go on to the library and work on those assignments for the first 30 minutes, and then you are able to go to recess for a little bit and then come in to eat lunch or eat lunch and then go to recess. That last 30 minutes is all yours to choose from, but you must go to tutoring first. When you go to tutoring, you need to take all of the materials that you need for that assignment, that project, whatever. And then when you are finished, you take your materials and go and put them in a nice neat pile outside of your homeroom in the hallway.
Hi 4th and 5th graders, Mrs. Ferguson here. I'm going to talk to you about what the procedure will be when we have to have indoor recess. It's going to look a little different because we're using the gym for lunches this year to spread classes out. So when Mrs. Fitzenmeyer talked about how we're going to enter the lunchroom with our sack lunches going from one door and then our hot lunches or salads coming from the other, we're still going to follow all of those procedures. Couple of differences with indoor lunch. First of all, the tutoring that's usually offered in the library is actually going to be in your classroom with your homeroom teacher. So you would just stay in your homeroom for that tutoring session. For 4th grade lunches, Mrs. Ferguson's class and Mrs. Lane's class will actually eat for the first 30 minutes. My class will be in the lunchroom, and Mrs. Lane's class will still eat in the gym like you do on normal days. But you'll be the only class in there, so we can spread you out a little more, okay? Now, while we're eating lunch, Mrs. Wooler's class and Mrs. Fitzenmeyer's classes will be in their homerooms, and you will have indoor recess that day in your classrooms, and your teacher will have some activities that you can do in the classroom, okay? When the second 30 minutes rolls around for 4th grade, we're gonna flip-flop that. Mrs. Ferguson's class and Mrs. Lane's class will go upstairs to their homerooms, and Mrs. Wooler's class will go to the gym for lunch after they come through here and get their lunches, and Mrs. Fitzenmeyer's class will stay here in the cafeteria and eat. You're gonna be in here for the full 30 minutes. It's not like on energy hour days where we can be outside. It's not like you can just leave whenever. On indoor recess days, you have to stay in the lunchroom for the full 30 minutes, okay? And in your classroom for the full 30 minutes of recess. So for 5th grade, we're gonna do something very similar to that. For 5th grade, it looks like Mr. Edwards and Mrs. Galindo's class is gonna eat lunch first. Mr. Edwards, you'll be in the lunchroom like you are on regular days, and Mrs. Galindo's class, you'll get your lunch and you'll go down to the gym as well. Again, you guys are gonna stay there for the full 30 minutes of lunch until you're dismissed back to your homerooms for recess. Now, while Edwards and Galindo's classes are in here eating lunch or in the gym eating lunch, we've got Mrs. Shirley and Mrs. McFall's classrooms in their homeroom, and you're either doing tutoring with your homeroom teacher or you're going to be doing indoor recess, okay? And then again, same thing, that second 30 minutes rolls around, we're gonna switch those. Edwards and Galindo are gonna go back to their homerooms for recess, and then we've got Shirley and McFall coming in for lunch. Shirley's classroom will stay in the lunchroom, and McFall's classroom will go to the gym, okay? Again, you're tutoring. We're missing 2 assignments or more, we automatically are doing some tutoring. It's just on days where we have to stay inside for recess, it's gonna be with your homeroom teacher. Thanks so much, I hope your year's off to a great start.
Hello, Garfield 5th graders. This is McFall here. I am going to talk about entering and exiting the building. So if I am a car rider, a walker, or a biker, in the morning I'm going to come to the front entrance here. I'm going to make sure I have my mask on. I'm going to come in. And I am going to stop at the hand sanitizing station and sanitize up for the day. Then I will head down to my classroom where I am going to drop off my backpack, sign up for lunch, and then if it is Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, I will stay in my classroom. But if it's Tuesday or Thursday, I'm headed outside to recess. Okay. If I am a 5th grade bus rider, I am going to come in through the recess door, again putting on my mask. And stopping by the hand sanitizing station. And again going to my classroom. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday staying in my classroom. Tuesday and Thursday going outside. Okay, 5th grade, when we exit the building, we've got several different ways to go. So if you are in my room or Mrs. Galindo's room, bus riders are going to exit out the recess door. If you are in Mrs. Shirley's or Mr. Edwards' room, bus riders are going to exit out the side door there by the track. For walkers and bike riders, all of the 5th grade walkers and bike riders will exit out of the recess door, and all of the car riders will go out the front door. When we are walkers, make sure that we walk on the sidewalks. Also, if there is no crossing guard, make sure you wait for the light to turn green. Bike riders, you will walk your bike anytime that you are on school grounds. And that also includes walking your bike across the road, not riding it. And finally, car riders, please stay on the porch and have your parent or person picking you up pull up to meet you. Have a safe time entering and exiting the building.
In Garfield, so I'm going to show you what you would do when you come in the morning. This door is by my room. You would come in if you are a car rider, a bicyclist, or a walker. You would come in, hand sanitize, and then you go to your classroom. After you put your mask on, you go to your classroom on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Mondays and Wednesdays, you would go outside and have recess. This is the north door. If you are a bus rider, this is the door that you would come in. You'd come in, hand sanitize, and then head to your classroom where you'll check in for breakfast, and lunch. If you are a car rider, this is the door that you're going to exit. Remember, in the afternoon, if you are a bus rider, you're going to use that north door by Mrs. Fitzmeyer's room. If you are a walker or a bicyclist, you're going to use the door by my room, that southeast door. If you are a car rider, you are going to come out this door and you're going to wait on this porch area out here for your parent to pick you up. When you get onto school property, you need to walk your bike up to the racks and just park it there. Car riders, you need to stay on that porch and let the car pull up to you before you get in. And walkers, you need to use the sidewalk. If there is no crossing guard out by the corner, you need to wait for the light to turn green and wait for the little walk symbol before you cross.
Hey everybody, we're going to be talking today a little bit about some of our playground procedures, and there's a ton of them, so make sure that you're paying attention here. First thing I want to point out, this is typically the 5th grade lineup area here on the United States map. If it is wet out or it is even cold out, sometimes this gets really slick, so be real careful. 4th grade typically will line up over on the in between the two 4 square areas over there, and that's where we will line up to go back in. Let's talk a little bit about some of the games that we can play out here. This is kind of an open area for play that we're at right here around the United States area. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 4 square areas. We ask that you spread out in the games this year for social distancing and so that there's not a big long line with a bunch of people. If you cannot maintain the 6 feet space out here, you need to pull your mask up. That's why we have them with us. Next, we'll talk about the basketball goals. There's 4 basketball goals out here. You can free shoot on them. We can play some knockout with basketball. What we ask is that you stay spread out. Some of the rules with basketball, and I'll jump back to 4 square here in a second, is that with basketball in knockout, you cannot touch anybody's ball while they're in the game, and you need to stay outside of the 3-point line. So in other words, you can't be underneath the goal helping your best friend while letting the other ball go by. Okay. Remember, we're here to have fun. We're not here to compete for a college scholarship just yet. Same rules go for 4 square. We've got rules that you will be taught in PE class. We are going to follow those rules. There is no exception to that. We don't need to alter the rules so that we can have shoe shiners, cherry bombs, or whatever new rule you have going. Everybody play by the same rules. Palms are always up. The ball needs to be going over across to the square. You cannot hit a ball down. That is illegal. Okay, let's move into the tire area over here. This is especially interesting for our 4th graders because you haven't had the space net. Okay, rules for the space net, pretty simple. If you get on the space net, you're going to be always facing the center pole. You cannot get on the space net if you have flip-flops. You cannot get on the space net if you're wearing a dress or a skirt without shorts underneath. Just basic, simple rules there. As you climb the space net, there's no tag. There is no chasing people up and down, and you cannot jump or shake the space net. Pretty simple. It's kind of a climbing device, and you can climb down. You're not going to do gymnastics, flips, or hook your feet into the things and flip upside down. Okay, that won't happen on the space net. Okay, let's move over to let's go to the rope pole there. You can climb the rope, real simple, hand over hand, go up the rope. Once you get to the top, come down the rope. There is no jumping from the top. That's not good on your knees, and you just need to go and make your way down very, very slowly until you get to the bottom. Scoot over to the swings. Swings are real simple. You go front to back, and your seat is in the seat of the swing. Real simple. Don't put your belly in. There's no Superman flying, anything like that. If there's people waiting on the swings, you need to be polite and give them a chance after you've been on the swings for a few seconds, okay, or a few minutes, whatever. go to the next one, the little monkey bar area right there. You need to be very careful. It can get slick and it can be painful if you fall off of that. So always have your hands and feet on there if you can. Scoot over to the balance beam. Let's keep only a single person on the balance beam at a time. Don't be pushing and playing king of the balance beam or whatever you might do that might knock somebody over. It's mainly for balance. It's not for a game like that. Move over to the tall monkey bars over there. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. You're not going to hang upside down. There's no flips or gymnastics or anything like that. And then, believe it or not, this last one right here is a pull-up bar. You can do some pull-ups on it. You're not going to do a whole lot of flips and twists and back flips and things like that. So that is the area over here. If you are not on the equipment, this is not an area for tag, wiffle ball, football, any throwing or kicking of balls in this area. This is only for the equipment area, okay? And while we're mentioning the throwing and kicking of balls, when you're on the cement over here, we are not going to be kicking and throwing footballs either, because we have a lot of people that are not expecting to get hit in the head with a football, and it's not any fun. And when you kick a ball, that's not supposed to be done here anyway. We'll talk about where you can do the kickball over there. All right. As we continue to look over here, we're looking at the kickball area. Okay. If you are going to be playing kickball, the way the rules work is you're going to be pitched a ball. The ball is not supposed to be pitched to try to strike you out. We want a ball put in play. So nice and easy rolls. Sometimes the teachers pitch while we're out here for watching it. Sometimes it's you guys. You cannot throw a ball to hit somebody to get them out. The ways that you get them out is the way that you would get somebody out in baseball. So you are going to catch a ball in the air, that would be an out, or you can get it to the bag on a force out. If you tag somebody with the ball in your hands and they're off the bag, that is also an out. If you foul a ball off more than twice, you are also out, okay? There's 3 outs in an inning. You remember the order that you were in. In other words, I can't kick once this inning and then jump in front of the line in the next inning and kick a second time. So let everybody kick. I like to mix it up as much as possible between boys and girls so that there's not the same 5 boys sitting right together. But once again, the main thing about playing the kickball is it's for fun. That's why we're out here. Have some fun. Be a good friend, be a good teammate, and enjoy your time that you get to be out here. In between the kickball and this area right here and this grass, a lot of times kids will play some with the footballs and stuff. The things that we got to understand is that we can't hit these windows that are over here with a football. So if you're wanting to pass a football in this area, probably okay. If you're going to kick it, we need to get over into inside the track. That would be a safer area to kick. There's not any windows on that side over there. Okay. And we can see right over here we've got the track area. The track area is meant for, walkers or joggers can use the outside of the track and do what they want to. Sometimes there's a football game going on inside. We need to be aware of those that are walking the track as well, so they're not hit with the ball during the football game. So we will follow the rules. When we play football out there, it is 2-hand touch. You don't have to push somebody to the ground to show them that and then say, "Oh, I didn't mean to." It's pretty hard to take someone down if you don't mean to. So we will pick up teams in both football and in the kickball so that the teams are as even as possible. And I'd like to emphasize again the fact that we're out here to have fun, not win a championship. So have a good attitude. Things aren't always going to go your way. You got to be able to handle that. You got to be able to move on past it. Okay. These all things are things that are going to happen out here on the playground starting today and for the rest of the year. The only thing that might change is if we have weather. And if we have weather and we can't be here, we've got a whole nother plan to be inside, and it will actually be in your homeroom classroom. So that will be the rules that we follow. So as long as we follow these rules, we get to have this open lunch like we do. You get to have the extra time. If we can't follow the rules or it gets too tough and we can't seem to get along out here, we go back to 23 minutes of lunch and 20 minutes of recess, and you don't get that extra time. So please be respectful of what you have, and let's have a great year.
Hello, Garfield. We're going to talk about bathroom procedures. So first thing, you're going to make sure that your mask is on. You're going to enter the bathroom. If you see that all of the stalls are full, you're going to need to come back out and stand on the right side and wait for someone to come out. Same thing with the boys. If you walk in and those stalls are full and one person's using the urinal, you're gonna need to wait. One person at the urinal at a time. Now, the next thing, when you go in the bathroom, you're going to want to get in and get out. So you need to go use the bathroom. Make sure that you always flush when you're finished, and you're going to wash your hands. You're going to use soap and water, and you're not going to make a mess. So the water doesn't need to be on full blast. Turn the water on, wash, dry your hands. When you dry your hands with the paper towel, make sure it goes in the wastebasket. No shooting baskets with the paper towel. When you're finished, you're going to want to exit because this is not a congregating place. We don't congregate in this space. If you want to congregate and it's recess time, you can go outside and congregate on the slab or somewhere out on the playground.
Good day, Garfield students. So, protocol for being in the hallway. Right hand should always be by the wall. If you can touch the wall, because you're standing that close, then you're too close. So, step out. So when you're in the 5th grade wing, if you're out on the second tile, that is an appropriate space from the wall. And not just because of COVID, we need to keep our hands and feet off of the wall. Also, if you're always facing forward, then you can see when the line is proceeding and you will know when it is time to go ahead and move forward. So we're always just gonna face forward in the hall. So your right side by the wall, always facing forward, moving in that direction. So you can see that I'm on my way to the lunchroom and I'm still on the right-hand side of the hall. That way, when I get to the door, then I can walk right across and enter into the lunchroom. When going down the other side, again, look, my right-hand side is right by the wall. So again, I'm moving forward, facing forward, and my right side is close to the wall. But my hands and my feet are not. So you might notice that you see some scrapes upon the wall. That is when people lean up against the wall, drag your stuff against the wall. Let's not do that because this took a long time to paint and now it doesn't look as pristine as it once did. So no matter where you're going, so when we get out of music or the lunchroom, maybe we need to go to the library, we're going to make sure we stay on this right-hand side of the hallway here. And if we're waiting for a class, we're just going to stop right here by the fire extinguisher and we will wait until the class exits. And that way I can enter into the library and not worry about anybody else.